And then when you're in a slump, you're like, I'm never going to catch a fish for the rest of my life. My life is over. We all feel like that. So let's get into the first part. What I want to talk about is, what is a slump? What is a freaking slump to begin with? So let's read this. Being in a slump means experiencing, I highlighted this in red, a temporary period of decline. Emphasis on temporary. Anytime you're in a slump, it's a temporary period of decline. Emphasis on temporary. Temporary, emphasis on temporary period of decline, inefficiency, or poor performance. Anybody ever experienced any of that? Any of y'all ever had a temporary decline, inefficiency, feel like you're just working so hard to catch one fish, or you have poor performance in any kind of activity? That can be work. If you own a business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Businesses go through slumps and peaks and valleys all the time. And so you know exactly what this is. It can be in any activity, career, or even well-being, your health, or just your mental health. I go through that all the time. Marked by low motivation, feeling stuck, or struggling with tasks that were once easy. Has anybody ever experienced any of this? If their answer is no to any of those things that I just read, chances are you're really not even a real fisherman. Get out of this community. If you're arrogant enough to believe that you have never had a poor performance in any kind of activity, career, or even a general well-being marked by low motivation, feeling stuck, or struggling with tasks that were once easy, you're not even a real person. You're just a robot, bro, or you got one really big ego. It is a noticeable dip in ability or energy, whether in sports, playing, or losing their scoring touch, the economy, downturn in sales, like I was talking about with business or personal life, feeling unproductive. That's what a slump is. Is there anybody in this community that has not felt a slump before? I need you to identify yourself in the chat right now. If I see anybody type that I have never had this in the chat before, boy, I'm telling you. So just as I tell you, I want to talk about what actually causes a slump. I'm telling y'all, I've been through this several times. It happens about every 2 or 3 years for me. I'll have 2 or 3 years where it's just easy. Things are clicking off, banging, firing on all cylinders, and then boom, like nothing else. You can't catch nothing. I don't care who you fish with, who you listen to, how many YouTube videos, what you buy, what you do, what kind of boat you're in, where you go, you don't catch nothing. This is what usually causes it right here, overthinking. I know a lot of y'all are dealing with this because I'm in the community. I know exactly what you're doing. Overthinking causes it. That's number one. How about this one? This one is really hard, and I had a hard time coming to grips with what this means, but trying too hard can cause a slump. Comparing. A lot of you do this oftentimes. I do coaching calls. At least once a month, I've been doing these coaching calls where it's a one-on-one deal where we talk about, your tournament, your practice, whatever the case may be. And so many times when I talk to people, the first opening statement that they have is, a lot of the guys are, and then they say what the other guys are doing and what they're not doing. You're comparing yourself to other anglers. Criticism causes slumps. And most of the time, you see, I got it there in parentheses, most of the time, the criticism is from yourself. I just can't catch fish offshore. I just don't catch them in the wintertime. I always struggle when the fish do this. I hate to spawn. Criticizing your own abilities. Think about how dumb that is. As critical as the world is, and as much stuff that you have to fight through on a daily basis, with as much as we're exposed to greatness now with social media, why would you criticize yourself? You're going to have enough negative hits throughout the day all the time. Why in the world would you add another one to yourself? Don't criticize yourself. Past mistakes. Not learning from, I should have put not learning from past mistakes. And then fear of repeating past mistakes. If you ever did something wrong, you ever zeroed in a tournament before, and then from that point on, you're scared that you're going to zero in another tournament. So you just don't, You just have this fear of clamming up and just overthinking, because I remember that time I was 0 and I remember what it felt like. And I think my boys was picking at me and somebody had 20 pounds that day. You know how all those thoughts start running through your mind when you think about past mistakes and you have this fear of repeating past mistakes over and over? That's what causes a slump. So how are we going to overcome this? And I know I'm moving really fast through this because I want to jump to some of your questions. I would love for you to share your experiences in the chat. I'd love for you to even if it's too much to share in the chat, I'd be even willing to jump on somebody to jump on a coaching call and talk about a slump that you experienced and how you got out of it. The mental framework around this entire subject of slumps and how to overcome it can be summed up in these 3 bullet points that I'm about to give you now. So one thing, if you got a slump, we're really good about studying the slump, right? We're usually really good about studying the slump. But listen, if you're going to study the slump, if you're aware of the slump, most of the time, what I've noticed within myself and with other people is we really haven't had a framework around what success is anyway. You know you're in a slump, but hey, what is good? What is a good fishing trip for you? What is your goal? If I took away places, if I took away the results of a tournament, what would success look like? If you never fished a tournament again in your life, what would success look like for you in your fishing journey? If I took away double-digit bass, and that wasn't a thing that exists, what would success look like for you in your fishing? Okay, so we got to get a different mental framework around what success is. And so I had to even go look up the definition of it. Success is very subjective. It's very fluid from person to person. But listen to this. When I tell you I was shouting like I was in church when I read this, when I looked it up on the internet earlier today, listen to this. What is success? Success is a continuous journey of progress, growth, and fulfilling one's potential, involving the pursuit of passions, building strong relationships, and making a positive impact. It is about living in alignment with your own values and consistency, striving toward what you find purposeful and fulfilling. By God, that's good. That is good. I got to read it again. Success is a continuous journey of progress, growth, and fulfilling one's potential. What is your potential? For some of you, catching 1 or 2 fish in every couple of fishing trips may be the ceiling to your potential as of now. And if you're fulfilling that, you are successful. And you have to avoid falling into this trap of where you catch 1 or 2 fish and you don't feel like you're really doing this fishing thing. And then you watch a YouTube video of 30 minutes and they caught 40 pounds, 20 pounds. Or you watch a guy in a tournament and he wins and you're comparing your success to that guy's success, and it's not the same thing. Success is a continuous journey of progress, growth, and fulfilling one's own potential. Like, what is your potential? Do you even know your true potential? So it's involving the pursuit of passions, building strong relationships. It reminds me, literally, I want this to be the motto of our entire app, our entire community, the more I think about it. We should be in the pursuit of passions. We should be in the pursuit of building strong relationships. And so many of you already are doing that. Because I see you fishing with one another. I see you making friends. I see you commenting and high-fiving on each other's Facebook posts and posting the app. That's what this is talking about. That's success. That's success. When you build strong relationships, you're successful. I know you want to win Angler of the Year in your club tournament, but when you learn how to build strong relationships and just the pursuit of a passion, just pursuing the passion, you are successful. Do you hear me? Like, just doing the thing, just putting your boat in the water and going out and doing it. You are now successful. Everything is listing in this paragraph that you're reading right here equals success. The progress, the journey of progress. Just the journey is success. Okay? We got to fix that, because what we want really is results. And I get it, because I want them too. I want more trophies up there behind my wall. I want more big checks. I want to be dinging my bank account, dinging every time I line my boat up. When I'm coming back home from a tournament, I want my bank account to be dinging every time. But the truth is, with just the fact that I went to the tournament, that I figured out how in the world I can find to pay a $5,000 entry fee, the pursuit of that journey makes me successful. Okay? That pursuit, fulfilling my own potential. I know without a shadow of doubt that like I feel the one reason that I feel like I'm successful is because I know with what I had to work with, I'm pretty sure I did pretty doggone good with the things and the resources that I had to do it. As a matter of fact, I would say like Forrest Frank said, I would say I made lemonade out of lemons with the resources that I had available to me and what I did with them. So I believe I'm successful. It makes me happy because I did that. Um, the last sentence is about living in alignment with your own values and consistently striving toward what you find purposeful and fulfilling. Y'all read that statement over and over to yourself and really think about what this means for you. Because what it's going to mean for you is going to be different for me. It's going to be different for Chris and Destiny. It's going to be different for many of you here in the app, for Tim, for Kenny, for all you guys. It's going to look different for all of you. So think about this. Really spend some time figuring out what success looks for you. And then when you really grab a framework around what success is, you're never really in a slump. You kind of realize that there ain't no slump that exists really. It's just all peaks. It's just where's the next peak? Where's the next peak? So the three questions that I want you guys to answer yourself, and listen, as we say in church, I'm coming to a close pretty fast here. What is success to you personally? I want you to answer that. I would even love for y'all to put this in the chat. If you don't, I like to chat up today. Like I like it when there's a lot of activity in the chat. I know it goes away when the live is over, but I just really like seeing you guys interact with each other in the chat. What is success for you? If you already know what that is, throw it in the chat. If you don't know what it is, don't feel like you're behind. Don't feel like you're messing up. You got time to figure it out, man. Like, but it's just something you want to start thinking about, because if you're intentional about what success really looks like, um, I think you're more likely. I think you're more likely to be successful if you know what success looks like for you. It doesn't have to mean the Bassmaster Classic. It doesn't have to mean fishing pro. It doesn't mean having to own a boat. It doesn't have to mean anything. It can mean whatever it means for you. It can, and it's going to mean, and once you find out what success means to you, I guarantee it's going to be a couple of these three things this in this opening statement up here: progress, growth, fulfilling one's true potential, the pursuit of passions, building strong relationships, making a positive impact. Do you ever think about like what is your impact with fishing? Like what are those things for you? Living in alignment with your own values and consistently striving toward what you find purposeful and fulfilling. What is that for you? What does that look like? What are you going to do? I, I, if I can, I'm going to share with you what that is for me. Just to give you like, what, because I can understand sometimes you can read this stuff and like it still sounds like Greek. Give me an example of what you're talking about, Brian. So obviously tournament fishing is a huge part of what I do. And tournament fishing, it will change who you are as a person because of the pressure that it puts you under. Um, our sport moves really slow, and a lot of times you don't know if you're turning the ship until way later. And so that progress and growth can happen really slowly. And so when I see progress, for me, I'd like to cash a check when I go to tournaments. I don't have to personally. I like when I go to a tournament and I find fish and I go back to them and I can catch them. That's success for me. Success for me is building this app community and seeing people fish together. You guys know we lost Tron Foster last week, one of our members here in the app, and Chris and Destiny, they came to the funeral this past weekend. They may not have never known who Tron was without the community. And so things like that lets me know that I'm building strong relationships with people, and I'm creating a positive impact. So that makes me feel successful. Living in alignment with my own values. My family is really important for me. So I've made it a notion. Now, we haven't done it in the last couple of weeks 'cause it's been cold, but my middle son loves fishing. And I want to make sure I fish with him somewhere every week, even if it's for 30 minutes. When we go to a farm pond and we throw a crappie jig and catch two crappie or no crappie or nothing, I just want to nurture his passion for fishing. That is in alignment with my goals. My oldest son likes riding motorcycles. You probably can hear him outside my door right now because I just bought him a new bike. You probably can hear him riding out there. I bought a camper. We go to races. We stay as a family. I buy motorcycles for him so we can spend time together as a family. The motorcycles are the tool that I'm using for us to spend time together instead of being in the house on our phones all the time. That's in alignment with who I am and what I want to be as a person, my own values. And like striving toward and finding purposeful and fulfilling whatever it was talking about. And I would say this community and then my YouTube channel is a part of that for me, because I figured out a long time ago that I wanted to teach people how to fish. And I I want to teach as many people as I can teach before I die is my goal. That is my purpose. That is fulfillment that I want to get done before I die, is teach as many people as I know how to catch a bass. That's it. So that's what it looks like for me. Look at number 2 down here. Number 2 is what are you intentional about learning? A lot of times we get in a slump because we're really just going fishing and don't really have any awareness around what we're actually doing. You're just out there just fishing to go fishing, and that's okay. But if you really want to get good at fishing, you really want to avoid a slump or climb your way out of a slump, being intentional about what you're learning is how you do that. When you go fishing, not catching fish is not always the worst thing in the world. That's information. And you can use that information to put you in the right areas to catch fish. But you have to be intentional about everything. Fishing forces you to be intentional. What do you have confidence in? I talk about this all the time in our lake breakdown process that we created here in the app. What are you confident in skill-wise? And confidence comes from being intentional. What are you confident in? What do you do really well? Once you know what you do really well, you have confidence in it. If you have confidence in it, you can use that confidence in a bait and a technique or even a lake or even just a species of fish. You can use that confidence to help pull yourself out of a slump. Moving forward. So I gave you all this information, all this rah-rah. How are we going to move forward? I'm in this slump, Brian. I'm not catching fish. I feel like I want to sell my boat. I feel like I want to sell. I'm missing time with my family. I'm in the slump. Like, I just want to sell everything and go pick up golf. Y'all ever been in that spot? I didn't want to pick up golf, but sometimes I get in a slump. I'm like, man, I just should have just been riding my dirt bike and got a regular job like everybody else. Or, I should just retire and just go to the coast and saltwater fish every day, be a saltwater guide, throw chum out. Sometimes you feel like that. But that's actually settling. Most of the time when you get that attitude and that feeling, you're settling for something because what it takes to get to there is uncomfortable. What it takes to get to where you really want to go is uncomfortable. So how do we overcome a slump? How do we move forward? Listen to this. This is another one of these. I'm about to be preaching on this one. Listen, I want y'all to really listen up to this. Focus. This is how we move forward. This is the meat, y'all. Clap, clap. If y'all sleeping, wake up. Focus on small, actionable changes. This is how we move out of a slump. This is how you get out of a rut. This is how you get away from feeling stuck. This is how you get out of depression. You focus on small, actionable changes. Change your environment, change scenery, reset your routine. Plan a few key tasks, find inspiration, talk to positive people, try new things, get creative. The key is gentle, consistent movement out of inertia, not massive overhauls to build momentum and break the cycle. Boy, that makes my soul leap. Listen to the first sentences I love. Focus on small, actionable items. When you're not catching them, when fishing ain't going the way you want to do, you tend to want to do that very last sentence down. You want to make a massive overhaul to get the momentum going in your way. I'm buying all spinning rods. I'm getting 4 graphs on the front of my boat. I'm spending 20 grand on some new electronics. I'm going down to Okeechobee, and I live in freaking, I don't know, in California or something like that. You will make this massive overhaul to get you out of this slump. And listen, maybe for you, some of the small actionable items, maybe that's why you decided to join this community. You might have said, man, I just seem like every time I go fishing, I'm having a problem. Brian keeps talking about this community where he teaches people to fish. I'm going to join this. That was your reset. You see up here where it talks about reset your routine? You see up here where it says find inspiration and talk to positive people? Bro, you got the right community if that's why you joined this group. There's too many positive people in here. Follow Brian Barty in the community tab. Follow Ken Pfeiffer in the community tab. Follow Peter. I just did a video about Peter last night at like 11 o'clock because it was on my mind. I wanted to do it then. Follow Daryl Rogers if you're looking for somebody positive. What are some of my other people in there? Follow John Wilson. Follow all those people, positive people. Get around them, hang around them, talk to them about stuff. That's how you get out of the slump. Focus on the small, actionable changes. What can you do? How can you change your environment? Don't go like get rid of your wife or your husband or nothing. No, I ain't telling you to do that, man. Don't bring me into your divorce setting. But I'm just saying, just find some cool people to hang around that have been through this, and they're like, hey man, like I didn't catch none either. And I tried this, and then I caught something. It's like just small stuff. Don't try the big stuff. Don't try to overhaul your whole thing. Don't start buying a whole bunch of rods. You buy my signature ones if you don't mind, because but listen, you don't need to buy 8 new rods just because you're in a slump. It's gonna be something small, and so something small might look like joining the straight up fishing community. Something small might be like just focusing on one area. I used to get into this a lot of times in the wintertime. It was easy for me when I would find myself in these little ruts and these little challenges. I would actually start fishing smaller areas of the lake. I would not crank my motor oftentimes, or I would not fish and just look at my graph. If I go a trip or two and it just wasn't seem like things were jiving, I would make a small change. So instead of fishing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, instead of actually getting up on the deck and fishing, I might just look on my graph for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. Or vice versa. If I'm not finding anything, I would just slow down and just say, man, I'm just going to stay in this creek all day. And the reason that you want to do that, because sometimes when you slow down, you can notice one small thing that changes everything about your fishing experience. But most of the time we overlook that. You overlook the one small detail because we're moving so fast. We're trying to overhaul our entire thing. When you make a massive overhaul, you don't see the little details that are sitting right in front of your face. I got to read this one more time because it's good to me. Like my spirit leaps when I read this. How do you overcome a slump? I keep saying slope. How do you overcome a slump? You focus on small, actionable changes. You change your environment. You change scenery. You reset your routine. You plan a few key tasks. You find inspiration. You talk positive people. You try new things. You get creative. The key is gentle, consistent movement out of inertia, not massive overhauls to build momentum and break the cycle. Woo! That's good, y'all. That is good. All right. So let's talk about this. All that's rah-rah. What is that going to look like for us? I'll talk about this, and I've been teaching this, but it hasn't been quite as intentional as what it's going to be tonight. I've been talking about this all year long. I know a lot of y'all are new to the community, but I've been talking about this all year long. Number one thing we're going to do, this is what it's going to look like for us. This is where the rubber is going to meet the road. I think there's like 4 points right here. Number one, focus on fewer baits and techniques. You can't buy your way out of this. You will not buy your way out of a slump. You will not buy your way out of a slump. You won't YouTube your way out of a slump. You won't do it. You won't Bass University yourself out of a slump. Listen, you won't even straight up fish and school yourself out of a slump. The people in our community will help you, but it's very unlikely that the videos or anything like that is going to get you out of a slump. The videos get behind the inertia of your own movement, of you doing the right things already that we talked about. If you're already doing small actionable items and then you watch a video, it just pushes you along. It just gets behind the movement that you already have. Focus on fewer baits and techniques. I tell people all the time, I did a lesson at last year's retreat. I said, my lesson at last year's retreat was be a specialist. Focus on fewer baits and techniques. You will not buy your way out of this. Number two, find the lesson in every fishing trip. I talked about this earlier. When you're out there fishing, guys, when you don't catch fish, that's not a lost day. That's not a lost trip or weekend. I see so many people, they'll post about their fish trip. I just blanked 2 trips in a row. There's a lesson there. Don't go back to that area, or that area is maybe terrible. That just tells you not to go there. Find the lesson in all your trips. When you have a good fishing trip, analyze why it's good. Why was that fishing trip good? What did it, like, what was going on? What was the sun? Was it cloudy? Did it just rain? Was the water temperature dropping? Was the water temperature rising? What was going on that made that day good? Find the lesson in everything. If you fish co-angling, you fish out of behind somebody's boat and you don't catch anything, pay attention to where that boater went. Pay attention to how fast he's running his trolling motor. Pay attention to how much he was changing lures from hard baits to soft plastics, from slow to fast. Pay attention. Find the lesson. Find the lesson in every single fishing trip. Number 3, I think this is the last one. Yeah, number 3, this is the most important one. When you're in a slump, you have to outlast your emotions. It don't feel good. It's easy to be negative. You can even, listen, I'm going to mess with y'all. I want to see how many people can admit this. Do you ever get jealous when you're in a slump? I get jealous sometimes. I'm having bad tournaments. My buddies are having good ones. And I'm like, dang, man. Like, why is he doing so good? Like, I can't do that good. Like, what is he figuring out? Like, why him? I try harder. I put more practice in. I feel like I deserve more. Nobody wants to tell you that, but you got to control those emotions that you're going to feel. When you're feeling all that from having a slump, the best thing you can do is take a break. Everything in our culture nowadays tell you, don't quit, don't stop, keep going. Bro, take a break. Put the rod down. I learned that as I get older. These are things, if I would have learned 15 years ago, I'd be so much better. Take a break. Sometimes you need to take a break. Put the rod down. Go do something else. Fishing really got fun to me when I actually got a hobby. I obsess over fishing so much. It's all I've ever done all my life. All I've ever done is pursue this career. And when I got to around probably 39, 40 years old, I took a break in the off season. Like, not stop fishing or stop fishing tournaments. Like I took a break. And I quickly learned, like, man, I should have did this a long time ago. Taking a break is okay. Quitting, I'm going to say something y'all ain't never heard before. Quitting is okay. Quitting is okay for a little while. A brief pause is okay. Chill, you're human. You're tired. It's all right. That you just outlast these emotions. They will fade away someday. Fish for other species. I talk about this all the time in the app. I tell y'all all the time, you can't fish for bass all the time. You can't. When it gets to July and August in Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, maybe not Tennessee, but Alabama, fishing ain't that much fun. for bass. Go do something else, man. Go saltwater fishing. Go fish for panfish. You got to do something. That can be your form of taking a break. And then the last point is fish with other people. If you're in a slump, it might be a good idea to go fish and see what other people are seeing, see what they're learning, see how they're seeing the water. The best way you can do that is fish with other people. I've seen so many times. I've seen Alex here at Alex Sterling and Tim Dotson fishing together. Brian Barty and Kim Pfeiffer, they paired up and fished BFLs together last year. Destiny and Chris, they fished. Destiny, Chris, and Fred have fished together. And maybe another group. Find somebody in this community to fish with and pair up with, and y'all go fishing. When you're in that slump, you'll be surprised what that will do for all of you. What it'll do for you mentally. Building those strong relationships. Remember how we talked about that being success? Go do that and watch how your fishing improves. Watch how much more you enjoy fishing if you will fish with other people. Okay. Believe it or not, that's the end of tonight's lesson. I'm gonna turn my screen share off here so y'all can see me in my full glory here. See how good I'm looking tonight, boy. I got lotion on tonight. I'm not even ashy in the face. Y'all gonna see me. Y'all about to see something tonight, good buddy. Well, let me see how I get out of this Canvas slideshow here so I can see myself to see what I'm seeing, what y'all seeing. But that's it. That's all I got. I got any questions in there? That's how y'all overcome the slump. I've been through this a bunch of times. So I know. You just need to outlast it. Take a pause if you need to. Just pause. I promise you it's okay. Them fish will be there when you get back. Nobody's going to tell you that. That just doesn't go along with our culture today. It's always grind, go, 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 go. You're gonna kill yourself trying to do that. Seriously. You're going to die and not have had any fun in your life if you just grind. And yes, even fishing, even something you're supposed to enjoy. I don't see any questions. Mike, I know you're in the chat. Do you see any? Let's see. I'm going to go back through here and see the questions. I couldn't get my audio working so where I could hear Mike tonight, so won't be able to communicate with him as much as I usually do. Chris Bowman says, my success is staying free. So many things give me success. Having a great woman who has my back. You got that right, man. You got that. You are definitely successful, my guy. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us, Chris. Let's see. So the John Wilson says, catching 5, putting 5 on the board is success to him. And that's cool. I love it. Small, actionable items like that. Let's see. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's see. I think we're good. If all Jacob Wilcox said, I'm a lifelong slum of not catching big ones. But listen, all right, even that with that, Jacob, what is a big one? When you say not catching big ones, not catching big ones compared to who? Compared to what? Like, who are you comparing your fish to that makes yours feel not as great as the other people's? I promise you, if you get good at catching fish, the big ones will eventually show. Nobody catches small fish all of their life. Name one person. If you look at tournament results and you look at the people that have bad years, I would say would be something. A bad year would be, you can't say it's not making championships because you can have really good years and not make championships. It's hard to say we're making checks because we don't pay enough people and people don't realize how good you have to fish to get an 80th with 160 people. What makes you think that you're a slum? Listen to this. Like, Jacob, did you even listen to what we just talked about in our thing? Remember when I talked about criticism? You literally just criticize yourself in the chat. I'm a slum and I don't catch big ones. Compared to who? Who told you that? Let's go. I'm gonna go back to the slide, Jacob. We're going back to the slide. I was literally done. No, you ain't gonna go out here tonight like this. Heck no. Nah. We're going back with you, man. Let me go share screen. We're going back to that slideshow again. Y'all could have got out and ate dinner, but thanks to Jacob, we got to go back to it. Number 3, Jacob, you're gonna outlast your emotions. Number 1. This is all Jacob's fault. Y'all can blame him for this. So this is what causes a slump, Jacob. Look at what is there, 6 bullet points right there? Look at the 6. Out of those 6, tell me which of those 6 that you literally just said right there in the comment section. I'm a slum, criticizing yourself. I catch small fish, comparing yourself. That's what causes a slump. Self-sabotaging. Jacob, I'm picking on you just to make an example and show you how easy this happens. I know it sounds like I'm like putting you on, slaughtering you on the altar right here, but no, I'm actually glad you did that, because that is literally what all of us do. Me too. We all do that, exactly what you just said there. I just catch small ones. I don't catch big ones, man. I just know if I just had a better boat, man, I just don't catch, just my boat ain't right. Oh man, them other guys, they got live scope and they know how to do it. Man. Oh man, them other guys, they got a better kayak and they practice 4 days a week. Why are you like, who told you this stuff? Bro, who told you? Where are these stories coming from? Where are these stories that you come up with in your brain when you're having a bad day? Who is telling you these stories? What about these stories are true? You're just making them up. You're comparing yourself. You're criticizing yourself. You're overthinking everything. It's not even that serious. It's almost never that serious. But seriously, Jacob, literally thank you for putting that in the chat, because that's how easy it is for us to fall into a slump by just talking to ourselves. Negative self-talk. We all do that. I saw Arizona here. Christopher Bowman here. My God. Appreciate you showing up today. Peter, I hope you got to see that workshop that I just did on that question that you asked most recently. That was a good question that you presented to us. Peter says, one thing I like to do is talk to my teammates. All of us have different strengths. It helps me think about things differently sometimes when I spin out. So Peter, I'm assuming you're a collegiate angler. Glad to have you in the app. We have one other one. Jaden Potter is also a collegiate angler. Maybe a couple, but those are the 2 that I know. You guys are the 2 that I know. I really hope you guys stay in the community. I would love to have a bigger group of collegiate and high school anglers here. So if you could recruit, maybe I may shoot you an email and see what we need to do to get more collegiate anglers in the app. That's a community that I feel like is underserved, and I would like to see how I can help, what I could do to serve high school and collegiate anglers better. Most of y'all are way better fishermen than I am already, so I don't know what that would look like for you. But I would like to be, even if it's using this platform for you guys to talk amongst one another, I want to do that for you. So we'll get together and talk about that at some point, me, you, and Jaden, and see what that could look like. David Dewey, what's going on with David Dewey? David Dewey, can you recommend a way to get better at casting and spinning reel and get better casting a spinning reel accurately? Yeah, I can actually. I actually can. So he wants to know how to get. This is something not many people talk about. They talk about how to get good with the bait caster. The key to learning how to cast a spinning reel more accurately is learning how to brake, to use your finger as a brake. You know how you thumb down a bait caster when you're using a bait caster, you use your thumb to control the spool speed so you can make your cast go further or shorter? Well, you do the same thing with the spinning reel, but I feel like I do it with my thumb. Let me see here. How do I do it? Oh yeah, I do it with my thumb and my left hand. So let me see. I'll try to do this as best I can. So I make the cast. And then what I do when that bill is open and it's spinning, I'll take my thumb and rest it on the spool to slow the line down, instead of having to click it over with the bill to stop the line. That is one way to control and make your casting accuracy make your casting more accurate with the spinning reel, is by making sure that you use your thumb to slow that down. Now, it'll take a lot more explanation for me to dive into that a little deeper, but using my left hand on my spool to slow my line down has helped me be way more accurate. Long story short, David, you just got to put in some time. Go in your backyard, start casting around. Figure out how to get that jig head in the cup. Your body will figure it out. But if you learn how to use your other hand to slow that line down, that's going to help you be more accurate. Sounds like that's it, guys. Hey, this kind of stuff. If we could, I would love to talk about this kind of stuff all day. I know I have to mix in some baits and some line tying and some rods and reels, but when you start talking about mental strategies and how to overcome a slope, boy, your boy gets on 10. Because listen, the way you do one thing in life is how you do everything. And so if you can figure out how to control your mind and work your way mentally out of a slump, dude, you can run a business, you can go fishing, you can win tournaments, you can improve your relationships in your life, you can have a better relationship with your kids, coworkers, your spouse, whatever the case may be. You're just happier. You're just happier when you learn how to navigate things. A lot of times the reason that we're angry, and I think about this, the reason when I'm angry and I'm in a bad mood is because I don't know how to navigate where I'm going. I'm in a slump in life. I don't know what I'm doing and what's going to happen next and how I'm going to combat whatever is about to come at me. And so I get angry, short-tempered. I don't like to do nothing. I'm just irritable. Okay? I don't like that. But when I've noticed when I'm in a really good mood, when I have a lot of energy, I know what I'm working towards. I have a goal. I have something that I'm getting up in the morning that I can't wait to work on. I have a video that I want to make it. I can't wait to get there and make it. I have a class at 5 o'clock and I can't wait to teach what I taught. Those kind of things, that's the purpose. That's the purpose for me that we're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm about to get off here so I can go finish cooking my dinner for the night. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to the live tonight. Make sure y'all post it in the community to let me know what you're struggling with, what you want to hear about, what you want to do. We're making plans. We do watch this. We do watch what you put in the community section and make things like Peter and Daryl literally just put something at Ask BLAT last week, and that was the last 2 videos that I made. One was about fishing pressure, how to navigate fishing pressure. Go back and watch it. And then Daryl asked one about, what was Daryl's question? What was his about? Oh, I think his was about, so one was fishing pressure that got into patterns versus spots. What was Daryl's question? Oh man, it's driving me crazy. I'm gonna have to go look for it. I'm gonna have to go look because it's driving me crazy. Let's see. Daryl's was about matching the hatch. Matching the hatch. So I can't help you. If you don't get it, it's because you didn't ask. That's all I got for you. Y'all have a good rest of your night. Our next live, I think I do have a live Friday at 12. And that's when we do our basics. So tune in Friday for our next live. Watch this one over and over. Okay? Watch this one over. This is going to be a good live for you to take in and watch. Y'all have a good rest of your night. I'm out of here.